Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. I'm back with some black and white cup action. Since all the replays are not public at this point, we're in the top 8 of Black and White Cup. I figured since everything's public, I might as well bring you guys a game as well. Nothing will hold me back. Nothing to hide anyway. Everyone's seeing these teams, so hell yeah, let's get into it. So this time around, I'm against Marshall.Law, who's on the alt Morgan and Kadabra. I'm currently at 17 points, as is he. He's in both black and white DVP, so if he goes 2 and 2, he finishes at 21. So he just has to win 2 rounds between black and white DVP. Whereas me, I've won 2 rounds in black white alone to qualify. In all likelihood, 24 won't be enough, but 19 definitely won't be. 17 100% won't be. So yeah, I gotta play for keeps here. This is do or die for me. So I decided in game one I was going to bring a little bit of a riskier team because I noticed that Mammoth Wind is really good against his offenses with Ice Shard. And also, if he doesn't run a specific Jellicent build, which I've seen a couple times, then Scarf Keldeo and range should also be able to clean out nicely. So I kind of put that together as a nice plan. And I figured if he does run a Jellicent team, then or he runs like Commander Nicholas team, and I don't get lucky with like Thunder Para or Encore with Polytoad into Mammoth Wind fishing, or any like random crits or whatever, then at least while I might have had like a bad matchup loss game one, I could bounce back in the future games. So I like bringing riskier team game one against players that I feel I'm a little more well versed in the tier in because I can kind of analyze what risks make the most sense and put them in. And then if I need to fall back on standard game two and three because I might be behind, I could do that and I could outplay. One could argue that doing that from game one might make the most sense, but personally, I want to mix it up a little bit just so they aren't like sitting too much on something. Like for example, Scizor Rain with both dual genies is a ridiculously risky team choice, which he happened to use here. But he only used that knowing he's expecting like a specific type of stance. Using this, it's kind of a curveball to him. And if you look, if I get any chip on a tentacle, then Scarf Kelly goes in. Mammoth's Fine looks phenomenal. Thunderous picks off kills. But anyway, I did a bit of in-depth analysis on Marshall.Law, and I know that in rain games he likes leading the Ferrothorn. Unless he's got a Trigladios, then it might be different. But I know he likes leading Ferrothorn and getting rocks up early or getting knocks off early. So therefore, I know I want to take advantage of that. I didn't want to lead Pharaoh Mirror. I wanted to lead with Thunderous T. Now, Thunderous T also is a pretty drawback-free lead. I know that for a fact he's not going to be Scarf Polytoad on this. He needs a defensive variant as much as humanly possible on this. With two kind of especially defensive oriented steals and Scizor to trap psychic types and Pharaoh just to be specially defensive. I think it's actually going to be Scarf Thunderous T on his team, which means that my sub Thunder T can help scout as well. But I also know right off the bat he's probably going to stay in with Ferrothorn. So if I lead Thunderous into Ferrothorn, I want to focus plus turn one and then sub on turn two. Sorry, just a mouthful, but basically just mapping out my early game. And if I get as much damage as I think I do with Thunderous early on in the game, then I'm great. Also, if he's not Scarf on Thunderous, then I will respect his possibility of Scarf Polytoad, but he could be Scarf Scizor over Band Scizor as well. So those are all options in my head. Also, my Tentacle looks really good here. I can force burns, and then if it gets those burns, it's looking great. So yeah, I'm really confident about this game. So right off the bat, we lead with Thunderous, and he does in fact lead with the Ferrothorn. So I go for that modest Focus Blast. I do 73 here, so he goes for Rocks. Find that they're up. I go for a Substitute here, so he goes to Zone Thunderous. That's fine. After leftovers times 2 plus Substitute, I'm living even a max modest Hidden Power Ice, so long as it doesn't crit. And my Hidden Power is always killing him. In fact, he feels that he's bulky given that Hidden Power Ice damage, so there's no way he kills me. And it's very favorable that I live after Stealth Rock without even factoring leftovers. And I do live after Stealth Rock without factoring leftovers, but then with leftovers, I live Stealth Rock and then some. He goes Scizor, and I'm like, okay, if it's Scarf Scizor, it literally can't kill me. It could just click Pursuit, and there's a chance it dies to Thunder if I hit. Not a very slim chance, but a chance nevertheless. But this ability to be banned, and banded, assuming it's like max attack, which almost all of them are, has like 13 out of 16 chance or 12 out of 16 chance to kill me with U-turn from this range. Pursuit could have done the trick as well, but I figured he might just go for U-turn just to kind of retain momentum. So I go for the Thunder. Thankfully, I connect, so I do a ton of this. All of a sudden, there's another thing that's like in range for Mammoth's Line. The Thunderous is now dead. Now, like Earthquake ravages everything besides tornadoes at this point. And also something weakened for Polytoad. And also, if I get spikes up, that's great. So burning his Tentacle and weakening his Tentacle is the next best thing. But yeah, he does get the roll. He kills me with U-turn. That's fine. It's favorable for him anyway. I'm just glad I hit Thunder, which is about equally as likely. I go Polytoad here knowing I live even a Specs Hurricane, even a Specs Monster Hurricane, so I could force a U-turn or just get skull damage because if I get damage on it, that's great. He goes Tentacle, and since he's going this, means he's probably not Refresh Polytoad. He might even be Scar Polytoad, so I just want to force a burn on his Tentacle. I don't mind trading. I go for Protect here just because if he Toxic Spikes, it's fine. If he subs, I do have Encore, so I could potentially get a sub up with my Mammoth Line after I Encore it. That's fine. He's going to Scald a bunch. I Scald on my second Scald, I believe. I burn, and he went to it first, so me getting the burn first is ideal. It just makes most sense. And now he's going to Scald again. I think he burns this one. That's fine. Although not refresh, I just want to get damage on this because weakening it so I can set up spikes is great. I do want to save this though for fodder against Tornadus because I don't think it's going to be sub-variant with U-turn, so foddering against it is safe. Also nice to fodder against Scizor. Instead he goes Pharaoh though, and I Scald, this 14, I burn. He has Lumberry, which by the way is my tech. I came up with that first. He must have seen me using it. I'm just putting that out there. But Scald also 2 kills him. He's probably got some physical defense given that, which makes some sense with Scizor. Only way you're running some physical defense on rain. So he sees a 2 kill there, and Scald, he goes right back Tentacle. So I'm glad I stayed and started Scalding proactively. And now he's taking more damage, so he's below half. And yeah, I'm a bit lower, but that's honestly okay with me because I just need this low to a certain point. Unfortunately, I removed Lum on my Ferrothorn. I made lefties right before this game. I used Lum against Ryza, I believe, and against Trickstery and Black White Seasonal. But yeah, anyway, I get the Ferrothorn in here. It recovers from lefties, and it doesn't burn the first time. That's great. So I can set up spikes here. I don't mind if he burns me in the second or third try. He does burn the second, which is fine. It's basically 50-50 to burn at that point anyway. So I get spikes up, and now I'm just fine with him slowly eroding away. He goes for spin. And what's great is that leaves him at 29, and I knock him off. So now he's never going to really be able to spin again. So look, he's going to be taking 12% after recovering 6% each turn. So he's down at 20 now. So I go for spikes here as he scalds. And I think at this point he could spin still, but he goes Ferrothorn for some reason as I click spikes, right? No, I rock again predicting spin. Okay, yeah. And now he goes Ferrothorn, and I'm fine getting spikes up here. And he goes for spikes as well, but now I'm like, okay, he's probably going to set up multiple spikes. So I go to Tentacle knowing, okay, also Power Whip just has a chance to 2 kill, but it never kills me in 1. And he goes for another spikes to come in a stand. I'm like, yup, this is ideal. And now I can spin, and also I live shit afterwards. And instead of firing up the Tentacle, he goes Politoed, which I don't really understand entirely. I'm kind of paranoid about Refresh Politoed just because Refresh with a lot of protects can get annoying. But thankfully hazards are off my side. So I go for Toxic here. I hit Toxic, and I'm like, okay, please don't be Refresh, and don't get to Gold Burn the first time. He does get the burn the first time, but again, that's just how the burns go in Black-White. But later he reveals himself not to be refreshed, so this damage is staying. I have a huge advantage given that. I go Ferrothorn here, just saying, okay, I could live multiple Scalds, and I could set up more hazards. The Spinner is below 25, so it's dead. The Pharaoh is dead to hazards. The Scizor is dead to hazards, so it just looks great. And I go for another spike predicting the fodder there. I want to preserve Politoed for him. I get that up, so it's even more damage than Politoed next time it comes in there, which is good. I'm at 11%. He goes Politoed here. I'm in Scald range if he really wants it. And he does indeed take it, so that's fine. But with him at 44, I can now go for 1 sub here to assure that he's in Earthquake range. And then Earthquake always takes him out, and I'm adamant with Never Melt Ice, so I'm always killing a Tornadus with Ice Shard and these 2 data hazards. So I'm almost trying to clean the game out, a 4-0 victory. But even if not, he did reveal himself to be a Scarf Tornadus in the chat. So it would have been able to actually get a surprise kill on this, but A, Tentacle always lives, and B, no way he's running Scarf plus Bulk. He said max damage in chat, but I'm like, no, I'm adamant, Never Melt Ice. And I got Scarf killed, and he's like, oh, he's Scarf Tornadus. I'm like, oh, okay, that does make some sense. But also, does Scarf Tornadus even always kill Mammothine? Let me calculate that. Holy shit. Let me go to Black-White. I'm kind of curious now. It probably does. I'd assume so. Just give it leftovers and Mammothine. Yeah, it still does 79 min. And I was at 76. Yeah, he would have killed this, and it would have gotten a surprise kill on Keldeo, and it would have killed the Politoed at 25. But no way to kill Tentacles. He'd need Confusion, and he'd need me not to be Never Melt Ice and Adamant, and I was both of those. So yeah, clean win there. Pretty lopsided affair, thankful to my early game positioning, late game hazards. So I was really happy with how I played this game overall. I went according to plan, and he just didn't find any openings. Game 2. Now I'm using more of a standard stand. I feel like I can fall back and just use something that's reliable. It doesn't really have any auto loss conditions. It's good against Volk, Cliff Drak. It's good against Balloon because of Mungus, so on and so forth. Only thing I'd really worry about is Specs-Called Rain. I didn't suspect he'd use Specs-Called Rain because he has none of it in his arsenal as far as I can tell, and he was Rain last game. And he brings a kind of interesting-looking Sand team with Weavile. You don't really expect Weavile out on Sand because it does the same thing Tyranitar does, but worse, and one could argue. But it does help bring some speed to the team, and it could actually be a really big threat to my team, as switching into Choice Band Weavile is a pain in the ass. That, coupled with Gliscor potentially being like a Protect variant or a Surge Instant Side variant if it gets the Poison Orb, Toxic Orb off, could be really annoying. So I lead with my Rotom, thinking, okay, he's probably Swords Dance, seeing as he's got like double Pursuit just to remove Lottie. So I lead Rotom, knowing I could Wisp freely. He misses Stun Spore, which is good for me as I connect on Wisp. So that's a favorable start. But I Volt Switch here, and I want the Tyranitar to get paralyzed so it can't get Toxic from Gliscor or burnt / poison from Defensive Starmie. But he misses again, and yeah, it's unfortunate for him. But this one didn't matter as much. He goes Tar as I go for Stealth Rock, and I know I'm Chopple, and I'm like, okay, this is probably a Stealth Rocker, and if not, then he's not Choice Banded for sure. So I go for Earthquake, which should 2 kill him, more likely than not. And he goes for Crunch for some reason. And I goes Low Kick, interestingly enough, as I go Rotom. Okay, that's fine by me. I just go Hydro Pump, I think. Maybe I Volt Switch? Yeah, Hydro Pump, I hit that for 20, so that reveals he's physically defensive, which is fine to know for me. And now I could just do the same thing with Tyranitar. I don't mind losing some health. I do another nice 11% with this. And I bring Tara in. He's at 41 before Burn and Sand. Sand against leftovers, rather Black Sludge. But yeah, I feel like I'm in a really favorable spot here. Just one Pursuit or Crunch can do a trick maybe. But he gets the right play. He Giga Drains that Pursuit, so he's going to live another. And then he gets full power here. And finally, I take him out here. So I'm down to 26. So at this point, Scald from Stymie or Hydro Pump from Offensive can potentially take me out. So I live die to Ice Punch. And I see he's probably Choice Banded. And if he's not, then I live a non-banned Orbs. Non-banned / orb ice move from here. So I go for a hidden power ice, predicting to switch. So it's like best you could do is like click shard from non-choice band or life orb, which he's not going to do. Worst thing to do is die to U-turn. So I go for hidden power ice here. In hindsight, knockoff was the better play because it could have knocked off the orb, but didn't really matter a ton. I get hidden power ice off. And he gets the orb activated. Now I'm predicting him to go Heat Train or Starmie, so I go Rotom W. He goes Heat Train. That's great. I'm thinking, okay, at this point, maybe it's his Rocker because he didn't rock with Tar before in either of the turns. He goes for Protect. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's either Rock or it's like Magma Protect trying to trap me. Like, trap everything for Gliscor might be his team in general. So I just go Hydro Pump and thankfully I connect, and it does a nice 73%. So I'm like, okay, he might have very little HP, but he seems to be more offensive, which is kind of weird with Protect Stealth Rock. So it's probably like Magma Storm Earth Power. Either way, I Volt Switch into Protect, and then I Hydro Pump. But he goes for Sunny Day, so I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Probably Magma Storm last, but how does that set make any sense? I guess it's to try and trap Politoed, which fair, I guess, but it's kind of really situational. But whatever. I now know he's in Volt Switch range, so as long as I just don't like get crit by Magma Storm, I'm fine. But he crits into 64. It's probably high roll as well, unless he's like modest out of the ass. So now I'm low, so it's hard to check Gliscor, and I might die to Pursuit from Weavile, so gotta be careful. I go Mungus here, and I know Giga Drain on average out damages leftovers plus recover, so I do 59 there, and I could just spam Giga Drain all day and tomorrow. And with Heat Train dead, I just feel like I can continue doing that forever and ever and ever. And so there I do 56% on the low end, but yeah, again, on average it's doing over 56.25, and that's what matters. You see, and then finally I crit that one, which is really lucky for me. He drops a dot in the chat, but I mean, like, without the crit on Rotom, there's no way he's winning. And then I missed Stun Spore here on your Ice Punch. So, yeah, I do feel bad, but I don't really think this mattered a ton. He goes to Gliscor here, predicting to switch. I go to my Weakened Rotom, and now Facades got a good chance to take me out, and he doesn't need to do that. But I go right to track, and I'm like, okay, Rock Gym started does well here. It could kill this. It could lure into a sequence where I could kill Tyranitar. And also, I live any Earthquake later on if I need to. He goes Weavile after I kill it, as he stays in. And now that that's dead, the game's pretty much over. I just fought off a Mugus because why not? He goes Ice Punch. That's fine by me. I know he's Choice Banded, so I just go to Landorus T. He's in Earthquake range. Tyranitar dies to 2 of anything. So he dies. He lets us die to Earthquake. Now it's the 3-1 position. I said my bad for the luck, but was able to win here. I think it was a pretty justified win, all things considered. I definitely was luckier in this series, but I don't know if it necessarily mattered a ton. But anyway, really confident with this game and this series, so I'd advance to the Final Four alongside Mana, Ban Manaphy, and the Quasar, Alexander's father. I'm in the winner of Blarglefarger vs. Tricking, so if I win my next series in Black White Cup, I should advance to Smogon Classic Playoffs, which is really exciting. And I have Smogon Tour Playoffs on Sunday. So yeah, lots of reasons for excitement right now. Feeling great. Hope you guys enjoyed this little 2-game set versus Marshall. Good game, bro. You're definitely a better player than the series represents, and sorry for the luck. Hope you enjoyed. If you're watching this, hope all my fans enjoyed if they're watching this. Leave a like if you like this video. Comments if you want more of this, or subscribe if you're enjoying my content for sure. This is Finch. Peace, guys. Have a nice night.